They laughed at her clothes, mocked her name, threw juice on her lunch. But what they didn't know was that the new black girl from Detroit had trained for this moment her entire life. And when the bullies crossed the line, she didn't just fight back, she made history. The first day at Lincoln High was always chaos, but for Nia Carter it was a storm waiting to happen. The moment she stepped off the school bus, heads turned. Not because she was flashy, far from it. Nia dressed modestly, her braids tied neatly, her backpack worn from years of use. But her eyes, calm, alert and piercing, told a story. One of survival, one of quiet strength. She had just moved from Detroit to this small suburban Texas town. Her mom got a job here, hoping to escape the city's violence. But Nia knew better. Trouble didn't live in just cities. It wore smiles, hid in whispers, and it waited. And it didn't take long for trouble to find her. The Queen Bees, the trio, spotted her before she even stepped foot into the building. Brittany's, Lacey, and Caitlin, the self-appointed rulers of Lincoln High, stood near the lockers, their designer backpack slung over one shoulder, eyes narrowing as Nia passed. "Who's the charity case?" Brittany sneered. Lacey smirked. "She's probably here on a diversity scholarship." They laughed, loud enough for Nia to hear. She didn't flinch, didn't even blink. That bothered them. The lunchroom war begins. The first real attack came at lunch. Nia walked to the only empty table and began unpacking her meal. 2 hard-boiled eggs, an apple, and a water bottle. No soda, no chips, just the basics. Then came the orange juice. It flew across the room, exploded on her tray, and drenched her shirt. The lunchroom erupted in laughter. Brittany stood behind her, mock horror on her face. "Oops, my bad. Didn't see you there." Nia calmly wiped her shirt. "You saw me," she said quietly, "and you'll wish you hadn't." For a moment the smile on Brittany's face faltered, but the laughter drowned it out. The underground fight club. What no one knew was that Nia wasn't just a quiet new girl. Back in Detroit, Nia trained in Muay Thai since she was 10. Her uncle, a retired professional fighter, ran an underground gym in the East Side. After school, while most kids were on TikTok or in video games, Nia was in the ring, learning to survive, learning to fight. And she was brutal in the ring, not because she liked violence, but because life had taught her one lesson. If they corner you, you better come out swinging. The last straw. It wasn't the juice, or the names, or even the cruel TikToks Brittany's group made of her. It was Amira's necklace, a simple gold chain her late father had given her before he died from a heart attack during his second job shift. That morning, Nia walked into homeroom to find it hanging on a broomstick, mocked, labeled Ghetto Gold in red marker. Silence filled the room. Even the teacher looked unsure. Nia slowly removed it, pocketed it, and said nothing. But the look in her eyes changed. The setup. That afternoon, Brittany made the biggest mistake of her life. She cornered Nia in the back hallway with her 2 backup dancers. Caitlin was live streaming on Instagram. "You think you're tough?" Brittany asked, poking Nia in the chest. "Just because you talk all quiet and act mysterious? This is a WOW school. You don't belong here." Nia looked up, finally speaking. "I didn't come here to fight." Brittany grinned. "Scared?" Nia's eyes narrowed. "But I'll finish it if you start." Before Brittany could react, Nia stepped sideways, caught Brittany's wrist midair as she tried to slap her, twisted it in a controlled joint lock and gently forced her to her knees. Caitlin dropped her phone. Lacey screamed. Amina leaned in. Next time you think about mocking someone's family, remember this feeling. Then she released her. Viral justice. The video exploded online. Not the way Brittany wanted. Caitlin's phone kept recording after she dropped it. Someone whispered, "Yo, that girl is a savage. Did you see that arm lock? Who is she? Is she like special forces or something?" By evening, Amina the Warrior was trending locally. Kids were replaying the video, breaking it down frame by frame. But Amina didn't gloat. She just went home, trained on the punching bag in her garage, and had dinner with her mom. The principal's office. The next day, both Amina and Brittany were called in. Principal Reynolds, a middle-aged man who usually played it safe, looked uncomfortable. "I saw the footage. Amina, what you did was intense." Amina stayed silent. Brittany, arm in a sling for dramatic effect, whined. "She assaulted me. I didn't even do anything." Reynolds sighed. "You've been warned before, Brittany. This is the third complaint in 2 semesters, and Amina's file is spotless." He turned to Amina. "Technically, you didn't throw a punch. It was self-defense. But let's all agree, violence isn't the answer." Amina stood. "Respect is." Then she walked out. Respect earned, everything changed after that. People who never looked her way suddenly smiled. A boy from the basketball team, Marcus, asked if she could help him with footwork. Even the janitor, Mr. Dorsey, nodded at her with respect. "You carry yourself like a soldier," he said. "World needs more like you." As for Brittany, she laid low for a while. Rumor was her dad wanted to sue, but after watching the video, even he knew better. The martial arts club. A week later, Amina walked past a dusty corner of the school and saw an old flyer. Martial arts club, Fridays at 4 p.m., room 109. It was barely hanging on. She walked in that Friday and found only 2 students and an old PE teacher named Coach Harlan. He looked up. "Can I help you?" Amina smiled. "I'd like to teach." The comeback word spread. By the second Friday, there were 12 students. By the end of the month, over 30 kids packed the gym after school. Some were tired of being picked on. Some wanted discipline. Some just wanted to feel strong. Amina led warm-ups, taught technique, talked about breathing, control, and restraint. She didn't just build fighters, she built confidence. And everyone noticed. Final confrontation one afternoon, Brittany showed up. No makeup, no entourage. Just a bruised ego and a request. "I want to join." Amina looked her over, then nodded once. "Go stretch." Some gasped, others protested, but Amina waved them off. "Everyone deserves a second chance," she said. "Even the people who never gave you one." Graduation speech. Months later, at graduation, Amina stood before the class, unexpectedly voted Student of the Year. She looked out over the crowd, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, poor, rich, nerds, athletes, loners. She smiled. "I came here expecting to be ignored, maybe bullied. I didn't expect to be seen. But respect isn't something you demand, it's something you earn. And sometimes the fight isn't with your fists, it's with your heart." The gym erupted in applause. Even Brittany stood up. The girl who fought back. Years later, people would still talk about that girl from Detroit, the one who came in silent, took on the worst bullies, and left behind a movement. A girl who proved that strength doesn't come from size or status or skin color. It comes from within. If you story inspired you, please like, subscribe for more stories.